Hey everybody! With the holidays coming up, I figured I'd do a video all about things that we love, and those would be games. I'm going to be specifically talking about some board and card games that I think are great Christmas gifts, and they're easy to play. Normally they're pretty quick. There are a couple epic ones in there that I think you'll enjoy as well. But let's go ahead and get started. Now, I have a list of my top 5, so I'm going to have to read them because I forget what they are. Alright, so my first game is something that I know and love and we play all the time, and it's a product called Zombie Dice. And it is through Steve Jackson Games, and the first 3 games that I'm actually going to mention are all Steve Jackson games because I love their games. These are super easy to play and they're super inexpensive. Zombie Dice, you can have 2 players, you can have 10, you can have 12. As long as you're willing to keep score for all those people, you can have as many people play as you want. It consists of 13 dice and a cup. And the rules are really self-explanatory, but the long and the short of it is you are a zombie and you're hungry for some brains and you want to consume as many brains as you can before you get shot. So you'll really enjoy that one, and I think that one's only like 17 bucks. You can find that on Amazon or your local game store. The second game that I love is also a Steve Jackson game, and that is called Car Wars, but it is the card game. This is something I played when I was much younger, and I fell in love with it, and it went out of production for a little bit, I think, and now you can get it, but you're going to want to make sure that you go to sjgames.com. I don't see it carried in a lot of different outlets. Your local game store may have it. If not, they could probably order it for you, but it's only about 25 bucks, and the game is super, super fun. You can have 2 to 6 players play, and you're assuming the role of a car driver in, I imagine, like a post-apocalyptic world, and you are trying to beat all of your other drivers to score points. It consists of 1 large card, which is your car itself, and then a bunch of other cards that you are drawing throughout the game to either cause damage to other cars or protect your car. Some of them are special maneuvers like swerving and skidding and things like that to avoid damage. It is a lot of fun, and everybody who I've played it with really, really enjoys it. So definitely check that one out. The third game that I really love is also through Steve Jackson Games, and I started playing many years ago, and is a game that's well known to a lot of people, but it's called Munchkin. And Munchkin is a card game. You assume the role of a character. You're blank. You have nothing when you first start. You draw your cards and you start building your character, and the goal is to level yourself to 10. Now you can do that by many means necessary. It could be by defeating monsters. It could be through magic cards. But everyone's basically scrambling to the top of the heap to try and get to level 10 first. Now, I recommend it as 3 to 6 players. I recommend that you get the Munchkin base game because it comes with a box, which you're going to need at some point to hold all your other cards. It comes with the base card game itself. It comes with a playing mat so that we can keep track of where you're at in levels. And it also comes with little cardboard stand-ups for all your characters so you can track yourself. Munchkin is a massive world. So there are a lot of different expansions, a lot of different cards. There are Disney-based cards, there are Warhammer-based cards, there are all sorts of different cards that you can buy and integrate into these decks. Make sure you read the rules about the integration though, just so that way everything works properly. But there are a bunch of cards out there. It's a super, super fun game to play. And the best thing about it is the strategy behind how people sometimes manipulate the game to get what they want. And it's very frustrating, but it's a lot of fun. This game takes about 1 to 2 hours to play. Zombie Dice, on the other hand, is typically, depending on how many players you have, about 10 to 15 minutes. Doesn't take all that long at all. So definitely check that one out. The number 2 on my top 5 list is a game called Splendor. And this is done by Mark Andre and put out by Space Cowboys. It's a 2 to 4 player game, ages 10 and up. It runs about $35. It's a beautifully crafted game. All of the materials in the game are of high quality, and it's basically a collection game. So you're trying to beat your fellow players by scoring as many points as possible, and you do that by collecting various gems and also wooing various nobles with all the gems that you've collected. So there is an expansion to this, so you get more nobles and I think there are a couple other mechanics to it. The base game is just fine. It's a lot of fun. Probably takes about an hour and a half, 2 hours depending, but I think you'd really enjoy that. And my top game is an old game. and because I'm old. But they've reproduced it. It's a game called Talisman. And Talisman is the most epic game that we have in this list from the standpoint of the amount of time needed to play it. It is a 2 to 6 player game. There's a large game board that you put out in front of you. And basically what you're doing is you're wandering around the regions of this board trying to make your character more powerful so that we can move up to higher areas on the board and eventually get to the Crown of Command. The Crown of Command allows you to go ahead and manipulate the board and devastate your fellow players, so you're all racing to try and get up there first. It does include some rules for player versus player action, so that can be kind of fun. And there are a million things to collect in the game to make your character more powerful. This game takes conservatively about 3 hours if you have a full table. If you have a full table, it's probably 4 hours, but it is a lot of fun. I would suggest everyone check it out. They're on their 4th edition of this game, and they have spin-offs such as Star Wars versions and Harry Potter versions. They have expansions to the base game, such as a dungeon expansion and a cities expansion. The base game plays just fine. You don't really need all those expansions, but if you really want to get them, they're available for you. Outside of games, what do gamers like? Well, gamers like game-related tchotchkes. So, for instance, I have this fireball that I 3D printed, which is pretty awesome. But there are a couple different vendors out there that I recommend for anything. The first vendor I want to talk about are the people who create the shirts that I wear in my videos. GemFirefly.com. There are some amazing products up there, very soft shirts, funny shirts, gaming-based shirts, but they also have some mugs and some home goods and some flags up there. So if you like stuff like that, or you're looking to expand your wardrobe or a loved one's wardrobe, definitely check that out. Matt's amazing, and he actually gave me a promo code to use for people when they visit the site. If you use Badly15, BADLY 15 at checkout, you'll get 15% off your order. My second site to check out would be Works of Whimsy, and Jess over there does a fantastic job. She has all sorts of custom products, some beautiful paint jobs on these, all laser cut, very, very nice. Some huge storage dice, even huger storage dice. She has lamps, she has all sorts of stuff up there. Make sure you go through both sites' collections because there's going to be stuff that you didn't realize was there. There's a lot out there for you, and both of those vendors are fantastic. Also, if you would like to, I do have interviews with both Matt and Jess on our channel. We do have a website, gamesplayedbadly.com. If you go to that site, you'll see all of our interviews, you'll see all of our Warhammer content, you'll see some of the items that we use in our videos that we have links to. By all means, please check that out. And if you like our content, like and subscribe. If you want to comment something, you can throw a little emoji up. You don't have to write anything out, but it really helps us gain traction in the algorithm, and we'd really appreciate that. So I know the holidays is a big gift-giving bonanza. Some of these games are really inexpensive and they're a lot of fun to play, and there's nothing better than opening up a new game on Christmas Day or whatever holiday you're celebrating and breaking it out and playing with the family. So I highly recommend those 5 games for you to play. All of us at the Games Played Badly family are wishing you and yours a very happy and safe holiday season. Check out more of our videos, and we'll see you soon.